keys still in the ignition. All the cops were buzzing from somebody's bad decision. Call everyone you know, we found the evidence. Just don't let them see you when you jump across the fence.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is another Monday. Oh my gosh, that's too loud. 6:24 Monday, and a long week ahead of us, but it's going to be a good one. Weather is outstanding for this week, so I've been a real busy boy, and it caught up to me. So I've been really busy, not only with work, but on the Jeep, and I haven't filmed or shared much, so I'm going to fill you guys in on what I've been up to. I'll bring you in closer. So, biggest thing, well, I guess the biggest thing would be the coilover hoops here, which I'll get into that in a second, but I did notch my frame to allow for the track bar to have some clearance there. And one thing I did to help everything out up here is I actually raised the front of the frame up. I'm not sure if I mentioned in my last video or not that I moved the jack stands to the body mounts there. I've since moved them back to the front here so I could get to the steering box over there. And that has given me plenty of room down here. When you're doing this type of work, there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Like, I have about 3/4 of an inch of clearance here right now, but when the other side of the axle comes down, where is my rotating fulcrum point? And will this come up and contact my frame? And then what about at full lock to the right or full lock to the left? It's all stuff like that you need to keep in mind. So I think with this setup, I'm going to be pretty solid. This should be plenty of room. I have kind of played with it a little bit, but I'm waiting on my bump stops to come in, and then I can really get a good idea of where this stuff is actually going to fall. And so last weekend I decided I really wanted to get in here and work on the coilovers because I'm so close to getting this thing on its own weight. And so that's exactly what I did. I got the passenger side hoop on real nice. This is where it's going to sit. I don't have the plates tacked onto the frame, but that's where it's going to sit for the most part. This is leaning out at 10 degrees this way, and I'm not exactly sure what size or what angle my shock was at, but I modified the GenRight kit brackets to go right there, and then this is what we got up top. So it should be a nice simple setup. It's going to look really clean. A nice simple cut in the inner fender to get up there, and yeah, so I'm really happy with how this side went. But obviously what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. And that is exactly where things went wrong. So, I've actually since taken the hoop out and ripped it off my plates here. But I did not have my axle parallel to the ground. The passenger side was actually up taller, so that hoop is taller. And I accidentally, that just went right over me the other day, and I cut this hoop too short. And so I could have patched it back together, but I don't know, that just doesn't really fit what I'm doing with this build and doesn't fit my building style in general. I'd rather do it right. So I went on GenRight, got very angry at the shipping prices, but I ordered new hoops, and then I also ordered the rear coilover mounting kit. I'm not a big GenRight fan, but their prices on the shock mounting kits, like these hoops and everything, are pretty reasonable. I paid $80 in shipping for this stuff, which is astronomical in my opinion. I'm sure it's not cheap for them to ship it, but I think $80 is a little on the steep end. So now we get to play the waiting game while those hoops come in, but I do have things to do. This is my old skid plate off the other Jeep. This is an undercover fab, high clearance, 1/4 inch steel skid plate. I went with steel over the aluminum because Both of these Jeeps have been low, and I want that clearance and the ability to just drag this thing over rocks. So one of my previous videos was cleaning up the frame on this Jeep, but I never got to finish it, and now I'm at that point where I need to start working on the frame again. So we got a package here from Eastwood, which most of you probably already know what this is. Shout out to Eastwood too. This came in like 2 days and it was pretty cheap. Oh, look at that. They got nice little boxes now. It's pretty cool. Bam. Internal frame coating. These things are real cool. They're pretty much like the only people that do this. I'm sure there's another brand or something out there, but these are just convenient spray cans with a hose. You stick it inside the frame and you get to cover everything. So I made this medieval contraption that I was able to get in there and spin a chain around and loosen everything up, and I never did anything after that. I just kind of fell apart, and I was like mad at it and just never went back to it. So my next steps before I paint the inside of the frame are going to be to blow all the dirt out of there, all the loose stuff that I stirred up, I guess, and I need to put in new nutserts on the bottom of the frame. So a very common point for TJs to rot out is where the belly skid mounts. This frame has a little bit of pitting. It's really not bad compared to a lot of stuff I've seen. But I cut out the factory nutserts, so now I just have holes in the frame. And I'm going to use those to my advantage when I paint this stuff. But I need to replace them, and for that I do have replacement nutserts. So yeah, that's everything that's going to have to get done while I am waiting on the coilover stuff to come in. So, yeah. See what we can get done this week. So I think if I give you guys that side angle view over there, you won't really be able to see this stuff on here. I'm trying to get better at filming unboxings before I actually open the package for the first time, because I just love opening packages. Oh, I wrapped them individually. That's nice. What the heck? Boom. Huh. Look at that. These things are freaking cool. I'm not sure what this O-ring is about. I hope that's supposed to be there. But freaking sweet. So we got us a pair of King 2" by 2" travel bump stops. I'm running such little up travel that I didn't really want to get like 4" ones, because then I'd just be riding on the bump stops. So freaking rad, dude. I have a King product. Let's go. Make sure there's nothing else in here. Yep. Catch y'all later. Oh yeah, here we go. So again, shout out to Chris. He gave me a rad deal on these. I thought they were a little less used, but I'll take it. They're gonna work, and they're just gonna get dirty and beat up again anyway. I can clean a lot of it up anyway. The blue looks like it's in really good shape. The pads are in really good shape. So these things are gonna be so freaking rad on here. I'm thinking I'm just gonna use the control arm there as a perch for these things. If this is all the way up right now, and maybe not, I'm gonna have to add onto the top of the axle. I'm gonna wait until I get the actual coilover on there before I start playing and mounting with any of this stuff. I placed an order with TMR for a bunch of really cool stuff, including cans. Their can mounts were sold out, so I have that extra 3" 3/16 plate that I'm just gonna try and make something with. Shouldn't be too difficult to do, but yeah. So I'm freaking really pumped on these things. That's so cool. These things are really expensive, and so he gave me a great deal. Looks like they're all here. The hardware's here. I'm just gonna need the cans, which like I said, I got them on order from TMR. And yeah, let's move on and get this vise mounted, and then yeah.
Everybody wants a little piece of the cake, but you gotta put a little bit of skin in the game. Come on.
Alright, I apologize for the spontaneity of this video. I've just really been struggling to find any sort of time to get anything really done. Last night, the memory card on the camera ran out of space, and I'm at 10% battery on it tonight, so this is just compounding on me here. But tonight, I got some time, and I think I'm going to get into cleaning up the skid plate. I want to get some fresh paint on there. If I clean it up really good, I'm actually debating on getting it powder coated. It's probably not really necessary. But yeah, so I'm going to work on cleaning that thing up. It's always a messy job taking paint off, especially that much. So we're going to get into it and see what we can get done.
If you think you're so hot, wanna make it to the top, you gotta hang with the big shots. Yeah, show me what you got.
Alright, so cleaning the skid plate is proving to make a huge mess. I'm covered. So while my die grinder's cooling down here, I had it down there because I was cleaning up a bracket. I'm going to clean out the inside of the frame. I've already kind of pushed everything to the back. Let me see if I could film this. Well, first of all of this literally came out of the frame. I just swept recently. And I pushed everything to the back of the frame. I'm using this hose. Yeah, the camera's not really picking up all the little pieces that fall out, but there was a lot of crap in here. I'm gonna link that video where I took a chain to the inside of the frame. I'm gonna link that in a card. I think it'll have that little thing up in the top corner of the screen. So go check that out, because this is gonna be the next procession from that, and how to make sure that your frame doesn't get away from you. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this video, and we'll really get into the frame and skid plate stuff and painting it up and all that stuff in the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'd rather be wheeling like maybe the next video, possibly. We'll see. Alright, talk to you guys later.